And new news in Walker County, the opioid king of Walker County, he wants your vote. So let's talk about Mr. Dustin Beatty. It's no secret that Walker County, along with the rest of the entire United States, has been completely, absolutely devastated by the opioid crisis. Families shattered, tons and tons, more lives lost than we can count, and tons of communities completely destroyed by opioids. That's not new, unfortunately. But now, one of the men that was literally directly related to all that devastation is wanting to turn that into a political redemption story. Mr. Dustin Beatty, who is running for District 13's House seat. In his stump speeches, Beatty paints himself as a casualty, just an addict who lost his business and is now seeking redemption in politics. But the Alabama State Board of Pharmacy records tell a completely different story. If you're not familiar with Mr. Beatty and his story and his previous horrible criminal record, in 2009, investigators tied thousands and thousands, actually tens of thousands, of missing opioid pills directly to his pharmacy. See, Mr. Beatty was a licensed pharmacist in the state of Alabama, and all that included the worst of the opioids that caused this crisis, including the one that starts with the O, the oxy, and the dones and the hydros. And he was cited not just for sloppy bookkeeping by the Alabama Pharmacy Board, but literally for distributing controlled substances to individuals illegally. So not people that had legal prescriptions by a doctor. He was literally selling these pills out of the back door of his pharmacy to anyone that paid from the street. Anyone. I mean, the stats are staggering. Literally, between 2006 and 12, Beatty's pharmacy distributed over 5 million of these pills. Now, to give you a clear picture of what that is, what that number means, that's literally enough to give every man, woman, and child in Walker County 11 pills a day, every single day for 6 years straight. The population of Walker County is around 65,000. So he put out enough of those pills in that 6-year period to give every single one of those men, women, and child in Walker County 11 pills a day, every day for 6 years. I mean, that's staggering. And, of course, during that time is when Walker County paid the ultimate price with at least, let me emphasize that, at least 250 opioid-related unalivings. At least. I guarantee you there's way more. Thousands of ODs, along with thousands and thousands of families destroyed. Now, we're talking about a county of only 65,000 people. And when you put it in perspective, that this man by himself individually completely destroyed thousands of these families. Some of these politicians in Walker County have zero shame whatsoever. None. It is complete obvious that they have been able to do whatever the hell they have wanted to do for years and years and years with no oversight and no fear of oversight. And this proves it. What this man did and what he literally pled guilty to. He didn't argue any of it. He did not deny any of this because he couldn't. There was too much evidence. And now he's running for state representative to represent the same families that he has absolutely destroyed, to represent the same communities that he completely destroyed. The pharmacy board hit him with serious violations, selling pills illegally, failing to keep records, even letting unlicensed people practice pharmacy. Who's that sound like to y'all? Y'all see a clear pattern here in Walker County with these politicians and these people that think they're above everybody else? You got Nick Smith, the sheriff, employing and giving badge and pew-pews to uncertified law enforcement officers. And you got this pharmacist who was letting unlicensed people practice pharmacy. And as I said, he agreed with all this. He did not deny any of it because he couldn't. Waived his right to a hearing and took a deal. His pharmacy license was suspended for 10 years. Pharmacy shut down. He was fined over $20,000. Barred from managing or even stepping inside a pharmacy. Now, I wouldn't call that a punishment of a man who just had an addiction and was just struggling for a little bit. because I am empathetic with people who are legit struggling from addiction. But those people are struggling from that because of people like him. So for him to claim he was one of them is utterly ridiculous. Completely ridiculous. And as we see in Walker County a lot, even though his license was suspended for 10 years, somehow he got his license back in just 5, half the time that he was supposed to be suspended. And why? Literally not one person can answer. We've even asked former pharmacy board employees, and they themselves said this was an extremely unusual case due to there being damning evidence that he was selling the pills illegally, and none of them knows why or understands why his license was given back in 5 years. But now, instead of him explaining himself about all this, he dodges it all away as, I was just an addict. I was just a poor little addict. He won't talk about the missing pills, still to this day. He won't say where they went, what happened to them. I mean, he doesn't really have to. We know. But he himself will not talk about that. He won't talk about the DEA audit or, most importantly, the money he made from all this. Because if you think he only made 20 grand, which is what he was fined, you do not know anything about this horrible, horrible drug. One of the most profitable ones that's ever been out. And these pharmacists made millions upon millions and upon millions. And he was fined 20 grand. So where's the rest of that money? So when he's out on his campaign trail asking for your vote, remember all of this. He's not just rewriting his past, which is you can't do. He's also trying his best to hide it by coming out and claiming he was just an addict, when we know for a fact that's not true. Myself, working in narcotics for years, I've seen this defense used so many times by major dealers, because they know if they can convince a jury and a court that they were just addicts, that they will get a lot lighter sentence, even though they're not addicts. I mean, I've seen it so many times, it's crazy. That's a very common practice to use that as a defense, to try to get a lighter sentence. I've had attorneys sit across from me with their clients that I know for a fact had sold thousands of pills like this, and their attorneys trying to convince me they're just not, they were taking all these themselves. No, they weren't. They wouldn't still be here. Because one thing, especially about the hydros, they have acetaminophen in it. And once you take enough of those, you don't live any longer, because it literally eats your stomach from the inside out. It's a very dangerous thing to be addicted to. And if you take them over a decent period of time and you take enough of them, you will no longer be here, because it literally eats you from the inside out. So is that what Beatty's claiming? That he himself took literally millions? Remember, over 5 million. Over 5 million. So is that what he's trying to claim? That he himself, he just had a bad addiction and he took over 5 million of these? Y'all realize how ridiculous that sounds, right? It's not just me, I know. Y'all realize how ridiculous that sounds. This is how dumb that Mr. Beatty thinks you, his voters, are. He thinks you are that stupid that you are going to believe that BS. That alone in itself should offend you so bad that you would never vote for him, not even counting the amount of people that he unalived. He put out over 5 million of those people. And there is no way of knowing just in reality how many people are no longer on this earth because of him. I promise you it's more than 250. We know, after looking into Walker County, there are probably, more than likely, some serial unalivers in that county. Here's one of them. Proven. Couldn't deny it. And he has the gall to run for a representative. He's probably the biggest one. This man is responsible for unaliving more people in that county than all the other ones combined. Think about that. And that's a lot. And he thinks y'all are so stupid and so dumb that y'all are going to vote for him, because he thinks y'all are going to believe this complete BS. If you find yourself feeling sorry for him, you need to rethink the way you think. He is the last person that needs to be felt sorry for. He should still be in prison. When you're responsible for that many people losing their life, you should spend the rest of your life in prison. Again, there's a couple things that all these same people in Walker County have in common, and he fits all those textbooks. Do not vote for this man. There is no excuse for what he did. It was completely planned out, premeditated, And he did not care how many people he took down while making millions of dollars. And I can promise you where a lot of that money went. Y'all want to take a guess? To some of the other corrupt politicians in Walker County for their campaigns. That's where some of it went, guarantee you. All of this is related because Walker County keeps voting these same people in. But after all of this has come out, y'all have to know better now. I know you do. I've spoken to thousands of you. So make sure that you get out and you campaign against him. I don't care who else it is. But this guy cannot be in office. He cannot. That would be complete devastation.